Hi, let's go through some examples of evaluating trig functions without your daemon machine. Suppose you were asked for the cosine of 2 pi over 3, or maybe the tangent of 7 pi over 6, or even the secant of 3 pi over 2. These are all fair game without a calculator. If you have these memorized, awesome! More power to you. But if you don't, you might start by identifying the quadrant, then make a triangle, either a 30-60-90 or a 45-45-90. Finally, evaluate the trig function from the triangle. Suppose you are asked for a trig function evaluated at 2 pi over 3. Step 1. Identify the quadrant. Remember, the top right quarter is quadrant 1, and then counterclockwise, quadrants 2, 3, and 4. Pi radians equals 180 degrees, half a circle. Start at the positive x-axis. 2 pi over 3 is 2/3 of the way, 120 degrees. We are in the second quadrant. Step 2. Make a triangle. Imagine lowering a rope from the end of the rotated rod straight down to the x-axis. We have a right triangle. 180 minus 120 makes 60 degrees. And the upper angle must be 30. The hypotenuse has length 1. The short leg of a 30-60-90 triangle, 1/2, is opposite the smallest angle. It's in the negative x direction. The longer leg, √3/2, is opposite the larger angle. It's in the positive y direction. Step 3. Depending on what you were asked for, evaluate sine or cosine or both. Since the hypotenuse is 1, the sine is just the y-coordinate, √3/2. Cosine is just the x-coordinate, -1/2. If we were only interested in cosine, we'd be done. Cosine of 2 pi over 3 equals -1/2. If we were asked for tangent, it's the slope, y over x, sine over cosine. The 1/2 factors cancel out. Tangent 2 pi over 3 equals -√3/1. And if we were asked for any of the rest, well, they're just reciprocals. Cotan is 1/tan. Secant is 1/cosine, and cosecant is 1/sine. How about another example? 7 pi over 6. Step 1. Identify the quadrant. 6 pi over 6 equals pi, a half circle. And we go an extra pi over 6 further. That's 30 degrees into quadrant 3. Step 2. Make a triangle. Imagine shooting an arrow and rope up to the x-axis. We have a 30-60-90 triangle again. The y-coordinate is -1/2. The x-coordinate is -√3/2. Step 3. Sine is just the y-coordinate and cosine the x-coordinate. Tan is the ratio of the two. The negative 1/2 factors cancel out, so tan 7 pi over 6 is positive 1 over root 3. And if we need any of the others, flip. One last example, 3 pi over 2. Step 1. What quadrant? Wait, 3 pi over 2? Pi plus half of pi. That puts us straight down along the negative y-axis. And step 2, there's no triangle, just an x-coordinate of 0 and a y-coordinate of -1. That gives us the cosine and sine, respectively. We can't divide 1 by 0, so tangent is undefined. But we can divide 0 by 1. Cotan of 3 pi over 2 equals 0 over 1. Secant is 1 over cosine, again undefined, but 1 over -1 is just -1, and we're done. Normally, you won't evaluate all 6 trig functions, just one of them. But hey, practice makes perfect. That's all for now, folks. See you soon.